A Lyft ride kind of at first starts out like an awkward date. It always seems like you always have to find out who's going to make the first move, who's going to speak first, who's going to like invite conversation. But after that, it gets pretty easy, and then you're just like, hell yeah, man. Then it's just a fun experience as long as the person actually talks. But I don't know, that's something I guess more specific about me. Other people don't just enjoy venting air out of their oxygen point as often as me. But I think it's pretty fun to talk. Like, talking is we got a mouth for a reason. And like, we're one of the few creatures who can, like, at least from our perspective, we're one of the few creatures who can just, put out letters of dialogue that make sense more than just like a howl or a growl, like So I think it's pretty fun to talk to your Lyft drivers. I feel like if you just sit in your Lyft ride and you just don't talk to them, kind of awkward. Like, you could just at least humor them instead of making them just sit in the car, especially if they like don't have the radio on or anything. Like, if there's no radio on and you're in the car with like a 40-year-old, 50-year-old man and he's just chilling quietly, like, that's just so awkward. That's like going to the bathroom with two people in there and the other person's just waiting for you to leave. Like, just like, why would you do this with your life? So yeah, I don't know quite why I felt the need to just take a video, but I have nothing better to do with my life, so I just kind of felt there's nothing to do from I can't speak. That last sentence we're just gonna delete from the conscience. And if the air sound in the background is annoying, I'm sorry. I don't have anything. I don't have like soundproofing walls. I'm kind of poor. If you want, you can donate to ShaneDonovan.com/GoFundMe. That was a joke. I don't have a GoFundMe. And yes, I do vape, but it's a short-term habit. But like, everyone just judges people for short-term habits because there's still habits in their mind. But like, as long as you still got some self-control. And all teenagers have great self-control. That's why they talk about their self-control all the time. I have great self-control. Actually, humans in general kind of lack self-control. And then I guess like most people's line of reasoning at that point is like, if it's so bad, why do I want it so much? It seems like all the best things in life are bad. It's just how the cookie crumbled. So unless you're like straight edge and to the point, it's a little hard to actually enjoy life from a work perspective. Sometimes I can't piece my own sentences together. Like, that line about finishing each other's sandwiches or sentences, like, I can't even finish my own sentence, let alone someone else finish it for me. Most of the time, people don't even know where I'm going with things. I'm just so off the wall. I also realized that half this video is probably just upshots on my nose. That's why I cleaned it before. You gotta make sure you clean all that shit, just so no one yells at you for it. Like, your nose is disgusting. You're disgusting. And I'm like, I take that personally. Please never say that again. Anyway, I think I've offended some people with that last part. I have my apologies. I was just trying to evoke a character. Put my hands on my face a lot, but then I'm always shocked that I have acne. I'm like, where did this come from? Who did this to me? As if I think some like little demon in the night's just coming and rubbing his hands all over my face and going, like, no, like, obviously it's all me. It's all self-sabotage. Like, maybe I'm just so insecure. I want to hate how I look, so I make myself look so awful. That's my pet theory. Don't take that to the bank, though. Don't give that too much salt. Take that with a grain of salt. The best thing about my existence is I just constantly butcher sayings. But it's like where I'm going with it, but you're like, there's just something off. You see, if anyone ever, if I ever had YouTube comments, someone in the comments would be like, hey, that describes your whole existence pretty well. And I'd be like, but I'm alright. I really just thought there was no better way to fill my time than taking a video, because, like, no one else is here. I got no one to go hang out with, because I still refer to it as hanging out, because I'm still a little kid, I guess. And I'm tired of music, been listening to that a lot lately. Haven't been that much into YouTube lately. Like, I'm getting bored of the people I usually like to watch. I guess I'm having another, like, transformation cycle. because it seems like every once in a while you just get like bored of everything you like and you have to find a new. Kind of hate that part of life. It's like I don't really got. My apologies for the notification. I don't really got time. Also, that's a scar from when I was hit by a car. I was riding my bike and somebody was pulling out of the Incredible Pets up here on Wickham, and I thought they'd stop. I kind of thought, like, my bad too. Like, I'm like, maybe I should never, believe things, but I also kind of like just assumed they'd stop, as you do at stop signs. But no, they breezed through that stop sign and they breezed themselves right into me. Let's hit it a cozy 10 to 15. It's nice to, it's the second time I flew off my bike, and every time you fly off your bike, it's just like, it's like a whole new world again. Like, you always, it's always just like, it didn't happen before. It was just a whole new refreshing experience. Poor Joan, wherever Joan is in Florida, likely Melbourne, Florida. Wherever Joan is, she's just living her life, not knowing that she might have seriously injured me, and maybe I don't even know yet. Because it seems like when you have car accidents, just randomly injuries will show up way later. So I don't know if my random lung, like I was having like lung pain. I don't know if that was from it. Maybe I was just dying. I mean, I do, so. But then on top of that, my arms were hurting at one point, my elbow, and then of course the hand, it just got scraped off a little bit. So now I got 2 new scars for life because of Joan. Because of Joan. So look at my parents' skulls. My mom, they have a thing for that, yeah. My mom used to do masks as well, so it's always been about having some kind of facial thing just all around. I don't really get it. A lot of people used to find the masks kind of creepy. They'd be like, oh, I feel like people are watching me, I feel like I'm being looked at. And so they wouldn't like it as much, but I don't know. I didn't really care either way. It's just a mask. This is coffee I just picked up. It's because the girl I'm talking to, her mom likes this coffee, and so I tried it, and it was pretty good. Like, I'd say I'd give it a good 8 out of 10 at least. Like, at least on a bad day. And so yeah, in case this video isn't clear, I do truly have nothing better to do with my time, so I'm just gonna keep talking until I feel like I've talked enough, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I might end up uploading it, but who knows? It's all kind of a crapshoot at this point. Well, my favorite part, and also I'm probably getting real low at this point, so I'm trying to talk loud so you can still hear me. But my favorite part of this video is the fact that I've watched a couple YouTubers in my day, and some of them get real mad about how people use this kind of portrait. They use portrait mode instead of landscape. And personally, I don't really care either way. A video is a video if the person's interesting enough. I get it, it could be annoying, if someone's taking, a portrait view of, a video game, I get that. But if someone's talking, as long as what they're saying is interesting enough, I don't really care about the viewpoint they use. It's just, a viewpoint. So, I know the YouTubers I watched, if they ever saw the content I'm currently making, if you even want to call this that, they'd be pretty pissed that I not only use portrait, but then also switched to landscape about midway through. They'd be like, what? What is wrong with you? Where's your artistic integrity? And I'll be like, where'd you think I was an artist? I just kind of talk ad nauseum. So yeah. I'm surprised I haven't mentioned politics yet. I'm a big politics guy, but it just seems like, people aren't always into that politics thing, so I don't want to just talk about it to a point where it just makes them always exhausted. But at the same time, it's my main interest, so it's a little hard to try to find a middle ground between the two. It just always feels like I'm pushing people on an issue they don't want to talk about, but it's one of the few things I like talking about, so if they want to be around me, then they must accept that they must want to talk about it, or at least accept talking about it sometimes, right? Or maybe that's how I justify it in my head. I'll never know. I still really can't believe that, I started off today ruining the fact that I had work. Just absolutely destroyed thinking about, oh god, I gotta work, I gotta get up out of bed, I gotta go do this, I had to go get groceries first, and after that I was like, man, I've already been out, been moving. I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm a lazy individual. So I just was like, man, I'm not that lazy anymore, but just kind of hard. If I don't have to put effort in, why put effort in? The exception being for other people. I really like helping people. But anyway, so I get back here and I'm like, man, I'll wait till they put out that schedule because they put out the schedule on the phone. You call up, you type in 2 numbers, and it's like, oh, I'm working today. Nice. Not it's personal. It's not a personal thing. It's not like they specifically tell you. You just call a number that tells you whether or not you're working. It's like a set up directory with an automatic like voicemail or voice cues or whatever it's called. And so then I go to check that, and I realized that Halloween was canceled. So I took a day off that was canceled anyway. I shouldn't have taken it off. Should have just, I don't know. I'm actually happy I took it off. But if I wouldn't have taken it off, I feel like, somehow they would have actually had us go. And probably had us not go because so many people took it off. I probably gave everyone else like a day off, being one of the many people who were like, bye. And then today's off too. Like, what? Okay. Is it again because people like me taking today off? But then Saturday is off too. My paycheck is gonna be missing 3 days, like 3 days in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then maybe even Sunday if they all of a sudden just don't work on Sunday. And at that point, I don't know what to do with myself, man. I like having just a little bit of money at least, I like being able to support myself to an extent, Because without money, it's a little hard to buy anything, any object, any interest. It's hard to put things into the world without things to put in, So, I guess we'll see how that goes. Can't wait for my paycheck to be $6. I've already made that joke in this entire thing I've already said before. This is all ripped off comedy for myself. I'm so original. Nice to meet you. I'm Shane Donovan. I've almost run out of conversation topics. I mean, not really. I could just keep going, but those were just the ones that were already in my head. I was supposed to make coffee a long time ago. I bought eggnog today. Hell yeah to eggnog. If you like eggnog, you're right. If you don't like eggnog, give it another shot. It's worth it. It tastes pretty good in my opinion. But I was supposed to make coffee earlier. Haven't done that yet. I was going to make eggs earlier. Haven't done that yet. I just get lazy. I guess more when it comes to my own needs. That's why people think it's a me problem. It's a problem about myself. I tell them not to make it so personal. Get it? Make it so personal when it's about me. Most of my comedy is just puns. Half of all I talk about is politics. The other half is just how fascinating people are, because we're a great thing. Hell yeah to the human species, even if we make mistakes every once in a while. The earth might go up in flames, but at least we tried. Take everyone else with us, right? Take every other species with us. Woo! If we're going down, you're going down too. But I hope the Earth survives. Hopefully, like in the last minute, we get this last-ditch plan where we can just have something that eats carbon dioxide in the air. But if you don't even believe climate change is happening, then ignore everything I'm saying, because everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, and no one's gonna be able to convince anyone of anything unless they want to be convinced of it, or if they have enough evidence and supporting details. But that's pretty rare. You could come with all the evidence and still convince someone of nothing. That's just how people work. We're stubborn. We're obstinate. Maybe not obstinate, it's maybe a strong word for it, but we're pretty self-interested. We genuinely trust ourselves more than others. Because others usually have a reason to do things, it's not just pure and clean-hearted. But we also only believe that despite the fact that we do things that are pure and clean-hearted, so it's just like more crapshoots in life. And I think that's about good. I'm gonna end this here now. Thanks for watching this. If I put this out, have a good one. Keep it easy. Wait, no. Keep it breezy. Take it easy. There you go.